On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, I am in Waterford, which is super exciting for me and for all the people that watch and know that I'm from Waterford. So I am here with Starling. I've been following their career for quite some time. Actually, when they used to be Cider Wasps, I was a person who was brave enough to book underage people to play in a bar. And it was a great decision to be made because the guys are incredible, and it's been wonderful to be able to watch them transform and change and merge into what they are now. Obviously, yesterday they released their brand new single, and it's really interesting to me to watch the difference in the form over the years. So Icarus is just out, guys. Welcome onto the show. How are we?
We're all good.
Good, so good. Thank you for having us.
So welcome. So obviously one of the questions I like to ask a lot and dabble in is, what's it like releasing in lockdown?
It's not too bad, but it's a slight bit of a hindrance, I guess. I guess you want to like release and then straight away you want to play, but that's the thing that's missing, I guess, for us, because our live shows are like the funnest. I think they're just so much adrenaline, so much energy. I think that's what we miss the most about releasing stuff in lockdown. We always follow with a tour straight after, don't we?
Yeah.
But, still a tour coming, but just not yet.
We're not together as well, so we can't like celebrate as a whole. We have to like, let's celebrate on a Zoom call with like everyone holding their can in their hand, and we're all like, woo, cheering the camera.
The two lads are still back in Waterford. I'm actually in Limerick, and Alex is in Norway.
All the way up in Norway.
I think there's a benefit to, in the sense of like the online aspect. More people are like more attentive online, I guess. So all your online content will maybe get more attention in that sense. I guess that's a good side of it, maybe.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting as well watching bands be as creative. For instance, you guys, right? So we have the song came out with a lyric video. A music video is about to come out on Monday, which I cannot wait to see, okay? Yeah. And then I'm sure you've got loads more tracks down the sleeves, you know what I mean? Absolutely. So it's really great to see all that.
We've got a really funny behind the scenes video coming soon. Just, you'll see all our antics in the shed. It's just ridiculous. Like, people just like, what are they at? Like, Joe. That's coming as well.
Most of the antics would be like Danny, Alex, and Colin messing, and then just me getting annoyed because he's getting the job done.
Yeah,
so that's coming. Hopefully we'll have kind of a stripped back version. Kind of me and Tommy playing it, obviously, because the lads are still away and can't play it together. But might have a stripped back version of it coming soon. Loads of other little bits and bobs coming. So stay tuned, everyone.
That's amazing to hear. Like, it's great that you guys are kind of hitting all the different fronts with your creativity and showing people pieces of yourself that, like, it's hard right now. That's why I do these interviews, is to give artists the platform so they can shine a different light on who they are, and brilliant that you're able to do all that content by yourselves. And I think that's just incredible to have that drive and motivation. So well done.
Thank you. It's definitely been a learning curve to get that like knowledge throughout the years, like, because before we had no idea. Like, we had people doing it for us. I guess our parents, when we were really young, they just threw it up on CD Baby. I didn't even know what like the distribution party was, and now we're kind of doing everything ourselves, which is good. So yeah, it's going well.
No, it's wonderful. And it must be great actually to have such supportive parents, because I remember when I was booking you, I was dealing with one of your dads and I was like, this is so cool.
They did everything for us back then. Like, they were such a help. Like, we wouldn't be where we are now, like, Joe.
Our dad used to be our manager, actually. He used to like manage all, like, we were, what age, 14, 15? We didn't have a clue. So,
and then we were like, we're firing you, Dad, we're too cool now.
Yeah, so I'm curious as to how each of you found your craft. That's a question I like to ask people. So what gave you that gateway drug into the music industry? What made each of you pick up an instrument or decide, okay, this is what I'm doing now?
So mine actually, sorry to cut across.
No.
Mine actually kind of stems a bit from my name to an extent. So I don't know if my name shows up on screen there, Colin Drummy. So you think I should be the drummer. I'm not the drummer, obviously. Tommy's the drummer. But when I was younger, I wanted to actually play the drums. But they're quite expensive, and I lived in quite a small town in a small housing estate. So getting a very loud kit would have pissed off a lot of people. But my brother was a bassist before me, so like he's just a couple of years older, and he's always used to play He's a music teacher back in Dungarvan and all that. And while I was waiting to save up for a drum kit, I found his old Fender bass. I think it's just a cheap Fender Squire Precision. Did the job, picked it up, and the cheesy saying, I just haven't put it down. Well, no, sorry, I did put it down 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I hate it. This is not for me. And now I have like 3 or 4 of them behind me over there, so you can see how that went.
Nice. Class. Alex, you want to say how you got into music?
Yeah. I think my first musical thing was playing the tin whistle in first class or something.
That's our summer.
I love playing music, and then I think my parents sent me off to do piano lessons, and the first one I didn't want to go. I was kicking and screaming, being like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And then I did it, and I just loved it. So I've been playing piano since. And then I don't know, I picked up a guitar when I was like maybe 12 or something. Picked up my sister's guitar and just started messing around. Not a clue how to play, but eventually taught myself a few things. Yeah.
Mine stands for we've a bunch of cousins who have a little band together. A band together. They don't play as much anymore because they're older and they have jobs and stuff. And one of my cousins called Dervla used to play the drums, and when I saw the drums, I was just obsessed. I was just like, that is so cool. Also a great outlet if you're angry or if you're sad. You can just go away and be at them for a while. And she gave me my first lessons when I was younger, and I went over to her. And that was actually the only drum kit I had for a good while, was going over to her house to play hers.
Their
And
music room was like mesmerizing. It was all painted, and we were just fascinated by it.
yeah,
Their switches be tripping. That's their name, actually, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's their cousins.
and I went over there for a few lessons, and then I got my own little drum kit. It was a burst mode. I don't know if is even that a good, like a main brand drum kit. That was there for a good while, and I went to like a kind of a music social group for a few years called Music Works, which kind of helped me. I never actually went to proper lessons to play drums. I kind of self-taught, and like music groups. Just I'm more about like I play along and play what I feel like. I will eventually learn how to play them like professionally, but that's kind of where I got my music interest from.
Amazing.
I still have my first ever guitar upstairs, which is crazy. It's this tiny, sparkly blue guitar. It's electric actually, which is funny. So my first guitar was electric. For the pickups, it's a speaker, which is really weird. So like plug it in and it's an actual speaker on it, like an amp speaker, which is weird. I should get that restrung actually. It'd be cool to have, but working. But yeah, that was my first guitar. I got it in Smiths. I don't know if my mom bought it for me or I asked to buy it. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to ask her, but got that anyway. And then my mind goes hazy and it goes on to my cousin Ronan Flynn teaching me guitar. So I used to go over to his house, and I still have the notebook that he used to teach me the stuff. He used to make me like draw my hand out and like tell me what the fingers do on the guitar. And like I do lessons now as well, so I've used his techniques that he taught me when I was younger, which is cool. And yeah, like he had this amazing Stratocaster in his house. It was this seafoam green Strat, and I loved it. I thought like this thing, like the golden axe sitting in the corner of the room, and I was like, oh my god, this thing is amazing. So it kind of, I got an acoustic guitar then. So he was teaching me on acoustic at the time, and he went traveling the world then. So he was gone for ages, and I took lessons. I went through a few teachers actually. First I went to Music Works, I think it was in town years ago. Colin, were you in that as well?
I actually wasn't, but funny enough, my brother was. He taught.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he taught you once or twice, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Like I remember him playing like the slap bass in there. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But
Shout out to Justin.
Tommy was in Music Works as well. So we went to Music Works. That was good. Then I had a few private guitar lessons up the old tech. They used to do them there, and then I kind of got to a stage where I can just learn everything off YouTube. YouTube's amazing. You learn anything, and got into electric guitar more. Started building up my gear, and surprisingly bought the exact same Seafoam Strat that I saw in Ronan's house. So that's literally inspired by that. Yeah, that's my music journey, I guess. And then singing, just started singing. I don't know where singing came from. Like, what?
You're kind of forced to sing. So you're like, yeah, no.
We need a singer.
I'm a singer. I was the singer. Like me and Tommy. Oh my god! When we first practiced, it was actually ridiculous. We had this long hall upstairs, and Tommy used to be on the drum kit, and they used to be so loud. Tommy hits like the drums so loud, which is a good thing because like pure beefy. But you couldn't hear me like sing or play guitar. So I was in Tommy's room, doors closed. He was out in the hallway, or was it the other way around?
Other way around.
Other way around. I had a mic, like a karaoke mic, plugged into a TV, and I was singing while Tommy was so loud that he had to be out in the hall or whatever. That's how we first practiced, and then we played as a duo for ages. Yeah, and then
History.
I think there is a video of that duo performance somewhere on YouTube. I will not name it, but it's there if people can find it. It is hilarious.
Yeah, you actually should watch it. What were we playing? Kaiser Chiefs. Look up Cider Wasps. What was the song?
I think it was Never Miss a Beat, was it?
Never Miss a Beat by the Kaiser Chiefs. We were playing that in the town hall. So yeah, look it up if you want. It's funny. Like Cider Wasps, I think Never Miss a Beat, Kaiser Chiefs, maybe it's called that. So yeah, that's my musical journey.
That's amazing, and it's great that stuff is actually up there for people to watch. Like, I love that. Like, I think it's so important and fun to look at someone's like musical progression and to even be like, oh, it used to be two of us, and now, you know, here we are.
And you'll hear in that as well, like my singing is very like nearly American. I don't really sing in an Irish accent. Like you'll hear the twang in my voice is really strange when I sing when I'm younger. I like put so much emphasis, just like a drama person doing theatre puts emphasis into their acting. I put emphasis into my vocals, so it's really strange. You'd probably get a laugh out of that, to be honest.
I mean, how old were you inside that video? You're only about maybe 12, 13, I'd say, are you?
That was before Fold, I think.
So that was probably even before the voice broke.
Yeah, it was.
It was well before that, I'd say.
Yeah.
Wow. So one of the questions then that I like to ask is like lockdown's effects on creativity. Have you guys noted anything different about how you create music individually or together? Obviously you're separate, so that's going to be impactful as well, but any kind of new discoveries about that or changes?
One thing we found a lot different is we usually have two styles of writing a song, where someone more often Danny would come to like the whole band with like either like a finished song idea, or like a song idea where he'd like have a riff and a few vocals, and then we'd like, you know, work on it and build a song together in the band room. He'd go away, come back with more vocals, we'd come back with more riffs and drum ideas, or we'd all be in the band room jamming, and then someone play a riff and be like, oh wait, say that, play it again, change the key, we play this drum beat, we sing this tune, song's made in like a day or two. And then like, but this time we're not together, we can't jam, so it's been a lot more like Danny coming to the band with full finished songs and we'll just play, because we don't really have time we can't really flush them out. Like we can't play a different beat, we can't change the tempo, or we can't change the timing or anything like that. So we're kind of like restricted in the creativity side. Like the person obviously who brings the song to us it's not too restricted, but they don't also have the bounced off ideas that the rest of us could bring. We like to bounce off ideas, but it's harder when that one person is trying to do it all themselves.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like from a remote standpoint, to say, we've been recording obviously a lot over lockdown. We decided we'd try to get into recording a lot remotely. It's tricky enough to get into at first, you know, obviously you're not together. It's a lot easier to do it when you have someone there with you. But even say, like Tommy's saying, if you try to bounce off a new idea, say if I'm putting a bass line down for one of our tracks, I'd send an idea onto the lads. It's not like an immediate feedback loop. Like you'd send down a quick snippet. It might take a while, like someone could be away for the day. They might come back, see it that evening, go, oh, maybe you should try this, maybe you should try that, or I think about it this way. Then you have to go away, go back to recording it again, export that, send it on again. It's quite time consuming. It can be a bit of a momentum killer.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Momentum, like.
Yeah, but it's great that you found a way to do it, and it's great that you're still recording. So fair play. But yeah, I can imagine that it is difficult. It's like all the projects I work on. If there's not a Google Doc there for us all to dip in and out of, like forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
do you know, it's like, so yeah, loads of bands have had struggles with that. Loads of bands as well, because they're not living a normal life. They find it very hard to create lyrics based on nothing. Like, you know, that's
Yeah.
usually what someone will say is like, oh, I'm so used to talking about my actual life that now, like, I have none. What do I talk about? Like, it's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of our songs, a lot of them aren't like, there is a few, but a lot of them aren't actually based on our lives. Dan likes to write songs about stories, about like, you know, ideas and stuff like that.
A few in the album now are really based on personal things. I probably won't say what they are about, but if you listen to the lyrics, you'll get them. Like, there's a lot of love stuff in there, just from the past few years. But yeah, a few songs. Even named Eros is a good example. That's going to be on the album. Sneak.
It's the first name drop.
I like exclusives.
Yeah, there is a few. Like when I was younger, obviously I did write those stories and stuff because I couldn't really write much about what I was feeling because I didn't really know how to express what I was feeling. But now, as I went through college and stuff, I have been writing a lot more personal things. So you'll hear that, I guess, in some of the music to come, which is cool. I'm happy with that anyway.
I think that's amazing. So obviously things are a little bit different now, but I like to talk about gig memories and venues that you want to give shout outs to, or venues that you miss, or venues that you actually didn't have good experiences in. So it can be like your own gigs or gigs that you attended as a punter.
I'd say gigs like, I'm not going to exactly, put blame on any kind of venues or anything like that, but we had a series, we had a strategy, we'll say, a couple of years back to break into the Dublin music scene. So obviously we'd kind of played a lot around Waterford, Cork, quite close to our home. So we wanted to get branched out, get into Dublin, get into the inner kind of core scene there. And we started booking these, I think it was weekly gigs in, I think the venue is gone now, it's Gypsy Rose. I think was the name of it. We started booking like weekly gigs inside there, thinking, yeah, this is how we'll break into the scene. This is how we'll do it. We'll just stay in the face the whole time. But like, that's not how you really break into the music scene. You don't just show up and hope for the best. Like, this is before we had any idea about marketing, advertising, all the stuff you actually need to get people into a gig. And they did not go too well for us. It was a lot of drives up and down, unload the gear, set up, play to maybe like 10, 15 people at best. Then do it all again the following week, tear down your gear, bring it home. It was a learning experience. It was definitely a learning experience.
Yeah, sometimes it was kind of disheartening to see like not many people there, but the lads always like, I had a habit of that back then, lads, and like sometimes I'd take that bad energy onto stage with me. Kind of learned to get rid of that. Remember,
The
wasn't
teenage angst years.
Like, Danny come on stage, look at the 15 people and be like, nah,
There's no point in giving energy. That's what I usually do. It wasn't right. It wasn't a good thing to do. Like, and then I realized, like, through the lads telling me just to give it all, everyone, no matter if there's 1 or 1,000 people there. That's the most important thing to do. But like, one of my favorite periods was in Galway. Definitely, kind of in the last 2 years, wasn't it, lads?
It was, if you're thinking of the Loft, is it?
The Loft, yeah. There's a venue, 7 Bar, I think, and there's a separate section called the Loft upstairs, and we played probably the best show. Like, we played Independence, and this beats Independence for me because it was our own show. We headlined it. We sold out the door. I think the room was hopping, packed. We gave so much energy, and like, we were literally our final form. And then after that, we were like, this is us. This is who we are. Like, like, I feed off the memories of the energy from that night. It's actually ridiculous. So that was like a turning point in my brain. I was like, hold on now, we could actually, rule the world with this. So, and then kind of we got a few hiccups. College, finishing 4th year, COVID. Now we're back on track and getting back there again,
Just always harness that night in the loft, Danny. It's the best. Like, just go back to that memory and just be that full-blown Danny.
Live in that memory.
But it is disheartening sometimes. Like, so I completely understand where you're coming from. It's very, very hard to be self-motivated and self-driven all the time. And you do feed off the energy as an artist. So if there's nobody in the room, you kind of feel like, oh, but you know, it's really important though to acknowledge that every single person that is in that room, like, you don't know who they're going to talk to after that gig. And like, they could be like, I don't know, connected to someone who could be your big break. So it's so important to try and find that balance.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of important to realize, like, every fan is just, it's a part of our family. Like, you know, we gotta tell them everything that's going on. We gotta treat them all the same. We have to talk to them after gigs and, like, you know, give them the same performance. Like, you know, there might have been a gig a month ago where we were playing in Cork and it was packed and we were giving a massive performance to them and they were like, oh, can't make Cork, but I can see them in Dublin. And they come see us in Dublin. We don't have the same energy and they're like, oh, I really wish I went to the gig in Cork, but they shouldn't have to, because we went to Dublin to give them the same energy. That's kind of the whole idea, you know. My favorite memories from gigs, we played in Cork. We play in Cork a lot. It's so close to Waterford, like, and it's easy for me to drive up and down. I do a lot, all of the driving.
It's always the drummer has the van, lads. What's that about?
We've got like a soccer mom car.
Yeah,
We'll take out the seats of it and just pile the gear up to the roof like Tetris. Tommy is so like, will I say OCD like about it?
No, well, like, it has to fit. Like, if I don't put it in the exact way, we won't fit all the gear in. And then the car is literally scraping along the ground on the way to Cork.
Colin's in the back like this, like.
I'm usually being suffocated by every bit of gear. I might have a pedal board on top of my head. There's been a few times now where our pedals aren't actually on the boards. We didn't have cases for our boards before in the past, and like, it's always Danny's board. Like, it'll always be right above my head, on top of probably Tommy's drum kit, on top of the cymbals. 9 times out of 10, the pedals come flying off and just right into the back of the head. I started just wearing more hats and stuff like that, you know, holding my hands like this while we drive.
Poor Colin has a concussion for the gig. It's brilliant crack.
That's what this headband is, you know, it's all my concussions.
We play in Fred Zeppelin's a lot. Great venue. It's such a good venue where you can literally just go as loud as you want to be, and it's a small room. It's great. Like, it's kind of like a heavy metal boiler room. That's how I explain it. You get me?
Is it closed down now?
No, it's still.
No, they're still kicking. So we would have to get a show back there post-pandemic.
Yeah, but I love Fred's and love Crane Lane as well. I love playing in Cork. It's just a great time.
Alex, you managed to get a gig in before lockdown, didn't you?
Yeah, I had one gig because I only joined early last year, or not even as the pandemic hit, because I played with them as not a member of the band, I suppose, a hired musician. They paid me a Supermax meal.
That's what session musicians usually get paid. Yeah. You weren't undercut there at all, Alex. Like, that is exactly the fee.
But yeah, I remember going up there and setting up with whatever. So we were very early for that gig, I think. And we set up and everything, and like, I had a long time to prepare. Then as soon as I walked on, I think I had to play the first kind of like synth note or something, and that was grand. But then I had to play something else, and I was just up there looking like, what the hell? My brain just went blank, and I didn't know what was happening. But, no, it was great crack when I got into it.
It was a fairly intimidating gig to drop you straight into. It was like a private event. There's the International Frisbee Society here in Limerick, in UL. And they hold an event called the Siege of Limerick every year. Not to be confused with the heavy metal Siege of Limerick concert, which we've had many people think we've played at that, and they're like, oh no, we wouldn't. Great concert and all that, but we wouldn't fit there. Our style of music, no. Maybe 1 or 2 songs. But I think the whole place, it was inside Dolan's warehouse. So the whole place was popping on the huge stage, probably like 300-400 people, could even be more, potentially 5. And this was about a week before everything shut down. So it was cutting it quite close to getting in one last gig.
Yeah. Like, I usually crowd surf there. I love crowd surfing. But I couldn't do it this time. Couldn't risk it because it was like dodgy. Like, there was definitely COVID in that room. Like,
we all had our hand sanitizer.
Yeah, we oh my
Everything.
god, it's ridiculous.
You're drowning in hand sanitizer.
Nearly almost didn't go ahead.
It nearly didn't.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was on the cusp, to be honest.
But like,
Glad it did.
I don't understand. Every year we play at that, it's just like the crowd brings so much energy, and every year, like say we were asked to play a 2 hour set, we used to play covers, and they were like play as much original songs as you want, and we're like, okay, we'd love to play 2 hours of originals if we had 2 hours of originals. So we kind of like fit in like our most dancey originals, and then we'd have throw in a few covers that we love to play, and they would like carry on the hype and just like build a night of like a whole under Starling experience, kind of thing of 2 hours of a set. And like we have videos of that of people like we try and get the heaviest mosh pits going. We've won this. We've a song coming out soon, and it's our master. Like
Mongrel. I dropped the name again.
More exclusives.
Danny, I love you. You're just banging out the exclusives. Just keep it up.
But it's literally like a song created for people to just go wild.
It's funny, those gigs as well. Everyone, it's a fancy dress thing, so everyone's dressed like batshit crazy throughout the whole thing. Like, and it looks ridiculous on like a video. Like someone's, oh god, I don't even know that. Costumes are amazing at that. But yeah.
I think we have a bit of footage of that. We could probably send that on to you afterwards. I don't know if we have it uploaded anywhere, but we got the whole room, the whole warehouse, the part right down the middle, just as the bridge of the song was coming to the end, as the drop's about to come in for the final chorus, the big bang, and you could just see everyone wearing, I don't know, Mickey Mouse costumes, ninja costumes, just head first into each other, going absolutely wild.
Amazing. And like obviously that's great that you do all the stage diving, Danny, because we need more people to be like energetic like that. Like that's an important part of stagecraft, you know what I mean?
I love that. Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. I used to be kind of nervous like on stage, and then it clicked in Crane Lane one night, kind of I just needed to give more crowd interaction. And this guy, like everyone has been saying it to me for years, like my parents, the lads, give more stage presence, talk to the crowd more. And then one night in Crane Lane, this guy came up to me and he was like, he gave me this advice. He basically said, see it as an act, like you're a separate entity to who you are off stage. And kind of weird to say, but like put yourself on a pedestal. Like think that you're amazing and that think that you're actually a rock star, and make that energy come out, and your stage presence will just skyrocket. And ever since then our shows have just been hopping, literally, haven't they, lads? Like
they really have.
So that advice was good. Whoever you are, creepy guy in the corner, I love you, you changed my life.
Dear Crane Lane stranger, if you're watching this interview right now, thank you for making Danny's career better. But you're right, like fake it till you make it. Harness whatever you need to be in that moment of power when you're on stage, because that's what your driving force is. That's what people need to be feeling. Like,
yeah, just making it fun for everyone, like making them just feel it, in the night. Because that's what we feel when we go to concerts like Slipknot or and just we're trying to make people feel like that, which is cool.
And then we have such a hypey gig, and then it comes to we're all finished and everyone's like woo, and then the lads are like hopping off stage and I'm like, right, come back over here and help me pack up my drum kit.
That's an annoying thing, like I want to mingle with people, talk to people, I want to go to after parties and stuff, but we always have to drive home, bring the gear home. It's like, maybe in the future obviously we'll have people to do that for us.
Someone like me. No, but networking is important, so you guys probably need to find a balance. So Danny's probably right in wanting to go be friends with everyone, because that's the fans that are going to come back, and you're also right because you need to get the hell home. So like, just try and maybe balance, two of you pack up and two of you take on the storm of the crowd.
Take it in turns.
Yeah.
I'll just run away and won't help ever.
You always do that anyway, so there's no difference.
No, that's amazing, and it's great to see like your journey, like, because obviously I'm lucky enough to be able to say I know those guys since all they did was covers, and they were like 15, 14. And then to watch you now and be like, okay, they're like professionals now. I wasn't wrong about them. They're talented. Yay me!
Thank God.
Thanks for living up to the expectations, boys.
Glad we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the questions I like to ask is, what local bands do you recommend at the moment? So who have you been listening to? Who do you think everyone watching this interview should be paying close attention to?
I'd say number one, Kill 'Em Charlie. We have to just shout them lads out. They released, was it an EP recently, lads?
I think it was
Fantastic.
EP. Yeah.
So good. Like, yeah, those lads are so sound. Love them. We play with them in Fred's. We play with them in Crane Lane. Yeah, definitely give them, all the viewers, give them a listen because they're top notch lads. Shout out Kill 'Em Charlie, boys. Anyone else?
Another shout. I'd like to shout out New Dad in Galway. We played a good few gigs in Galway now, and they were great support each time. And like it was funny, one of the first times they supported us, they hadn't even released a song, and they're skyrocketing now. So fair play to them.
Oh, they're doing so well. Well done to them. Fair play.
I'll take a look at the.
They deserve it so
Oh,
much.
they deserve everything that's gone their way. They're fantastic. I'll give a nice little shout out then to the Limerick scene. You know, got to represent where I am currently. So you know, you got Denise Chyla. Does not need a shout out, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. You know, she deserves everything that's come her way. Absolutely amazingly talented. Definitely check out her mixtape. Go Bravely. But even alongside Denise, there's just so many others. There's Merle. There's God Knows. There's Circa Richardson, although I don't know if she's exactly from Limerick. But the scene is popping around here.
You've got Foxjaw as well.
Foxjaw as well, of
Foxjaw,
course.
Yeah.
The
We
whole
come in
scene is popping.
pieces. I quite like
Sky
Limerick.
Objects, are they from Cork? Deep
Who's
Sky
that?
Objects.
I don't know.
I think I saw, like, every time I go to Fred's, there's loads of stickers all over the place, and I see all these bands. I see Foxjaw sticker, Deep Sky Objects,
Sky Trumpets.
Sky Trumpets.
They
They're
deserve a
Limerick.
shout out.
Well, Andy's kind of Limerick based, not really, is he?
Andy is now he's I think he's floating between Cork and Waterford. So we'll put him into the Cork scene, but we can steal him as well because he's Waterford based.
I can steal someone
You can
from
steal
my
someone.
kingdom.
Andy is like the mad scientist of music. He's ridiculous. Like, you see, like, you should follow Sky Trumpets and his Instagram as well, because he, like, you'd be watching he has so many, like, contraptions. He's like a mad scientist when it comes to music. Like, even he did, like, a master's on, like, or was it a master's? He did his final project on, like, the visual aspect of music, where he made this program that makes, like, music into visual. It's crazy stuff, but
Yeah.
watch his videos and stuff, because he messes with synthesizers, everything. And Sky Trumpets, they're going to come out with some huge stuff. I think I was talking to him recently, so definitely keep an eye out on them.
He was
They're
also
huge.
a hired guitar player for.
Oh,
that
he's an
gig.
insane guitarist as well.
We hired him for that gig in Dolan's as well.
When with the first gig with Alex, yeah.
He was up for the task of learning off like
Everything.
12 of our songs, and 8 covers, and our songs are just awkward. They're not hard, they're just awkward.
Like, literally, Stephen left, and we are like, Andy, you've learned everything that Stephen has learned in the last, 8 years? Off you go. And he fucking took it. Like, he nailed it. Like, fair play to him.
Alex did that too.
Just give him the bit of credit. Deserve
yeah,
the credit. Fair play, Alex. That's
And
a lot to
Alex
learn.
stayed with the band.
And Woody as well, local lads. I think they supported you before, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember they supported us. The Sweep Bar. Where is this? Is that on the way to Waterford, or
The Sweep.
the
Sweep.
Yeah.
Is it Kilmeaden, maybe?
No, like, it's literally on that turn. Just Sweep. The Sweep. It's called The Sweep.
Oh, is that just outside of town?
It's literally, there's a car dealership on the other side of the road of it, and it's like on the main road on a turn. Do you know it?
Yeah, I think so.
They were there. They're class. Like, they have new stuff out as well, haven't they? I think.
Yeah, they released, I think, a 5-track EP a few months back. One of the songs on it's called Single Bed. The other one's Banana, I think. My brain's not always great at remembering everyone because there's a lot of acts in Ireland.
Oh
There's
my
a lot.
god,
What a
so
great
many.
act.
But
But-
yeah, those guys are really nice. We haven't met them in ages now. That was the last time we met them in the Sweet Bar when we were doing, like, cover gigs as Cider Wasps. I think they're doing Volcano Predators is their.
Yeah.
Give them a follow. They do really cool shout outs of, like, really good songs. They put Icarus up on Tune of the Day, which thanks to them. Thank you very much.
A few other names are just a quick off the cuff. Are Pretty Happy. They're a great band.
Cork based, aren't
yeah,
they?
and Rowan as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, Rowan. Yeah.
Yeah, those are amazing quirk bands. Like, so pretty happy have that song Salami. My kid's addicted. Like, he's like, put on the Salami song, mommy. And
So strangely addictive, like it's weird.
Yeah.
it's such a strange track, like, but it's amazing. And obviously Rowan, amazing band. I was actually working in Cypress Avenue with them at Christmas when we did the live stream series down there, so it's brilliant to give them a shout out too.
Nice.
So guys, what's in the works? So we've had a few exclusives. What can we expect without giving us too much? What should people be super excited about? Because I know what you guys are like. You're hardworking horses like myself. So what's the most exciting thing that we have in store for us?
Well, I suppose the album number 1, which drops when, lads?
We've November penciled in for now.
Okay.
That we're 99% certain it'll be November.
But the most immediate track next,
We won't
which
say a
is
date.
very, very soon, will be not connected to the album at all, which is interesting. So it's a standalone single. We can't give much information on it because we want it to be kind of like a surprise, but it's connected to some important dates coming up for Ireland as a whole. So that's all I'm going to say about it. We're excited to do that. We've had a lot of talks with RTE and stuff in relation to things. So yeah, I'm kind of giving away a few things, but
I like it.
nothing to do with like getting on RTE, but like other stuff. Yeah, weird stuff.
Danny, in a hostage situation, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not going to survive. But, it's going to be fine.
Like, what we're most excited about is we're all like, I'm finishing up like my master's now, and Colin is working, and Danny's like, he's finished a college course, and we're all have more time to put into the band, and we're all excited for continuity. Like, this is the first time ever that we're releasing songs continuously, and we have a plan that's reaching all the way up to summer next year.
Yeah.
Of releases and a strategy and just a way to, kickstart this all off again, because we spent a good few years trial and error, not really know what we're doing. We
didn't have the time to have that continuity. We just didn't have the time to release a song every 2 months or whatever. So it just didn't happen because we're all out of college now. Alex Neary's out of college now.
Yeah.
And then another big contender is like, recording songs is expensive. Like, going to a studio is really expensive. We've been very lucky with our mixer and recording producer Graham Byrne. He has a lot of patience for us, but he has a lot of he sees potential in us as well, and he puts a lot of his time. And
how he saw us as well, it was like something from a movie. We were playing that venue in Dublin, Colin. You know the name of every venue.
The Mercantile.
The Mercantile, yeah. We're playing there. We have a song, Far Be It From Me. I don't know if you know that song, but we brought it out like 3-4 years ago, lads.
It was the first song we dropped as under Starling.
Yeah.
So it was a big move for us.
We were playing that live, and if you ever see us live, that song, there's a technique where I like scream into the pickups of the guitar and it comes through like a wailing scream. I got that like thing from Kings of Leon. Kind of stole it from him. But that's during the chorus, and Graham happened to be at the gig. Just happened to be there.
No, he went there because he sending around emails, and we got his email from Jester Productions, and we were like, oh, you can see us at this gig. So we went to the gig.
He came, saw that song, and was like, I want to record that song with you. And then we were like,
we have no
we
money.
no money. It's like, okay, pay for the recording studio and I'll do all the mixing for free. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
And he did that. He's incredible. He's still with us now, and we hope to like work with him for the
foreseeable.
For foreseeable future.
But you know,
produced on the album.
A lot of people are like, oh, how do I find a producer? But I think one of the best pieces of advice anyone ever gave me is a producer finds you when you're ready and you're right.
Yeah.
You cannot go out looking for a producer. A producer is one of those mystical things that just appears when the timing is right.
Unicorn, like.
Yeah. Producers are unicorns. The right one will find you when you're ready.
And honestly, we wouldn't be able to do it without him. And because of him as well, we've been able to. He is able to give us his knowledge about how to record, and we've taught ourselves, and we've bought a lot of gear during lockdown on how to do it ourselves and research. Danny's actually doing a course on how to mix and record songs at the moment.
I'm doing, do you know Charlie Puth? Do you know him? He has a monthly class up, and it's alright. It was like €230, I think, and I paid for it because I wanted to learn how to, mix, master. He teaches you everything, and it's incredible. It's pretty, what's the word? As in, like,
Intensive.
Yeah, it's pretty intense because you have to, like, submit things, and you have a peer group, and they have to, like, comment on your submissions and stuff. And I'm, like, a day late now for one of my submissions because of Icarus and stuff, so I'm going to give it out to. But, yeah.
I think the funniest thing about that is, though, like, your submission is, you have to write a song in 10 days, and you're like, how do I do this?
Yeah. Well, back to Graham, like, he's a fifth member of the band, basically, because I think he just, like, was able to, like, mix and master really well or whatever. Well, he doesn't master, but he mixes for us and produces and records. But one day we were up in what was it? Hellfire, Dublin. We're up in Hellfire Studios, and there's a guitar on the wall, and I was like, "Oh, Graham, what do you think of this song for the guitar?" And he was like, "Oh, shreds on the guitar." Like, I can't even shred on the guitar. And he was like, "Yeah, it's good." Gives it back to me to record. And I'm like, I didn't know you could play guitar that insanely. Yeah.
One other good thing, though, is...
So, like, he helps in the writing process,
Yeah.
He has so many ideas to bring forward, which is class.
One other good thing as well that we knew he'd work is Danny comes up with a lot of ideas, and most of the time he wants all of them ideas to be in the one song at the one part. And for the first time ever, Graham was just like, "You're not doing that." And Danny was like, "You can't say that." And he's like, "Yeah, I can. I'm helping you write this song." And then we were all like, "Yeah." And then he'd show us how it'd sound with and without it, or with it in a different place, or something we wouldn't think of. Like, he brings his own ideas to the table for our songs as well.
It's because I'm obsessed with melodies. Like,
Yeah.
I write a chord progression, and then straight away I get my Strat, and I do these really high-pitched, twinkly melodies. And then I do another melody and another one, and I'm like, "Oh, this one sounds good. This one harmonizes that one." Then another one, a layer, and it just gets too much. Like, I'm obsessed with just getting overloaded with melodies. That's what I do, but I need to calm down sometimes. Because
You're passionately melodic, Danny, okay?
passionately melodic. That's
Okay, that is what you are. This is the hashtag of the day. Passionately melodic is what Danny is. I understand that, though, and it must be nice to have, must be hard, actually. Must be hard to have someone telling you, no. But it must be great as well, because then you're like, well, actually, maybe I could keep that one for another song, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard. I have to be better at that in that sense, especially from advice from the lads as well, because everyone has to have their input,
Absolutely. So, actually, that's a question I didn't even put in the thing, but I'm going to ask it. Ooh. What's it like being in a 4-piece band? Pros and cons.
Great. I think it's really good. I don't know. I don't think I could do it fully on my own, to be honest. I like being in a band. I think it's more of a strong bond, to be honest. But there is cons, I guess. When it depends on like how a song is written. Say if I write a song and I have a vision. It sounds crazy, or it sounds nuts. Like I have this vision of the song, and then I bring it to the lads, and say if something disagrees with that vision. Sounds crazy, but I'm like, no, I can't have that. It messes with the vision. Messes with the vision of the song. But
I'm actually sick of hearing that.
Then, like. that happened because obviously we're away, but like we're hopefully moving in together in September. We'll all be there, we'll all be present, we'll all be sharing the vision, sharing the actual making of the song, so we're all connected and know the context behind the song. So that will work so much better. That's how it should be. But at the moment with COVID, it's sometimes a bit conflicting, but it's not too bad. Like every band has their disagreements, but that's how it is. Like music's music's subjective to the listener, so not everyone's gonna agree on the same thing, like what Kings of Leon, like they argue all the time. There's hilarious videos of them online.
Yeah, I was on tour with them. I assure you, they do genuinely argue all the time.
You're on tour with them?
That's the story for after the interview, but yeah.
go next.
My experience. I was going to actually mention that, you know, we did, was it last year, maybe the year before, we did just try to go as a three-piece. Like when we had, Stephen used to be in the band before, he parted ways, some personal reasons for life, you know, best wishes and all that. But the three, myself and the two lads, Tommy and Danny, we decided, yeah, we're gonna still push on. This is definitely still something we want to do. You know, we're still here. And it was fine, you know, we were still able to practice away a bit, but there's always felt that there was that one extra thing missing. Because like obviously Danny brings a lot of melodies to the band. So just having the one guitar, the one bass line with the drums, it's a unique sound. But what Alex can bring now, Alex is going to be doing both keys and guitar. Just having that one extra element in there, or even, you know, alternate between two, it just adds so much extra to it.
The keys is amazing. You should hear our show with keys. Like when like I kept like second when we were playing in Dolan's, and I was just listening to like Alex playing the piano. I was like, yes, this is good. You can hear the backbone, the soundscape of this song. It just merges everything. It just makes it so whole, like, in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, no, it adds a completely different dimension. It's like, you know, it just changes things up enough to give it that extra magic. That's exactly what we're looking for. The word is magic.
Before Alex joined, I actually...
Did we play a gig as a three-piece ever?
No,
we didn't.
No.
Before Alex joined and Stephen left, I was actually the keyboard player in the band. We have like a Smith's keyboard, and it was like plugged into the PA system, and I'd have like pedals connected to it to like make sound effects and stuff like that. So I'd like create the soundscape for each song. We always try to like have no silence in our gigs for some reason. We just want all of the whole gig to be noise, like good noise. So as soon as the song ends, I'd be like turning over and pressing the key.
Just a drone, like, you know, keep the atmosphere building.
Of the tune of the next song, but like I don't play. I know how to play some things on the piano, but I don't know where the notes are and stuff. So like they're all like named and color coordinated for each song. So I know like press this one now
with those little circle stickers you use when you're like learning.
With terms of being in a four-piece band, like. I think it's. See, I don't know what it'd be like to be in a four-piece band where you're not friends with the rest of the members, because we're all friends. And being friends is good for one thing, and another. Well, it got its pros and cons, but I think it's got more pros than cons because you don't hold back when you have an opinion, because you let them know exactly. You let them know exactly how you feel about a song or about how the band's going or about how much input everyone's putting in, because they're your friends, and it's not really an argument. It's you voicing your opinion, and you know that they'll listen to you because they we're all there for each other.
Respect your opinion.
Yeah, we all respect each other's opinion in the end of the day. And like we all grow together. And like, I used to be the old, like, it's changed a lot.
Yeah,
like the band has morphed a lot. Like, we were all kids at the start, and I was Tommy
was the driving force at the beginning. I did sweet fuck all. I showed up to the gig and sang and played. Oh my god, Colin, I was fucking awful, wasn't I?
Yeah. Myself and Tommy would look after you, the technical aspects. He'd book the gigs with the
diva,
parents.
like just the showman, like that's it. Like
yeah.
Then I just start like that's you cannot thrive or progress as a band that way, And oh my god, it's funny because I've learned most of my stuff finishing out I did marine biology in Galway, so I have a degree in that, and in my final year I kind of learned about marketing and Facebook ads and pixels and how important all this thing, like I wanted to learn these things because otherwise I'd just be out of the loop and like have no input at all in that sense. So yeah. really important for anyone who wants to be in a band, that side of it.
Yeah, no, that's amazing that you guys are actually friends and yet you all care because this is your baby and every song that comes out is your baby. So you actually all care. I hadn't really thought about what it must be like to be in a, I don't know, what do we call it, like a non...
Session band.
See, it's not even that, like it's a commercial...
Yeah.
I can't find the exact word, but a constructed band where you're not friends and like literally... all it is this kind of aesthetic thing that breeds its own thing. Like I'm sure after a while you become mates, right? But you start off completely different to you guys. You guys have been like this for a very long time, and now you've got an Alex, and it's still working completely. You've got an Alex now.
There are a lot of session bands in Cork. Like don't get me wrong, they still are friends, but like in relation to a deep connection, it's not there. Like me and Alex have been friends since, even though he wasn't in the band, we've been friends since like what, 4 year, third year of second,
third, fourth year,
for years, like, you know, and we've been like sharing music together, like our interests for so many years, like, so we have a deep connection compared to like session musicians, I guess, because you'd see in like Cork School of Music or BIM, you have these fresh artists coming out and they're just whipped up and they're paid every gig, and like we can turn around to each other and laugh and know exactly all these little, I guess, inside jokes and how we're playing, and you know, it's just this whole different energy on stage when you're like mates. I guess that's what makes it better, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, no, and that's a great way of explaining it, because it's completely different to being in a manufactured band. Like, it just is. Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's brilliant. Like, I mean, what are we clocking up now? How many years? Like, obviously...
Between the lineup changes. So, the two of you started 12 years ago, did we figure out? It was 12 years ago, it's just the two of you guys. A year later, Stephen joined. Was it 1 or 2 years later I joined? Like, how long were you the three-piece?
Maybe two.
Maybe two. But like I said, I've been here for 8-9 years now, so I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And then
No, I'm on probation period.
Nah, I think you're past that now.
I think
Yeah.
most Alexes are good people. Any Alex I've ever met has been pretty solid kin, so I think you're in there.
Yeah, we're a good bunch already.
I like swimwear.
how did you find being put into a 4-piece out of nowhere, Alex?
Let's see, I've never really, like, I barely experienced the fourth piece of us because as soon as I joined, it was in COVID, so there was 5 of us when we did that gig, whatever, and that's great crack. Like, I loved it. But then as soon as I actually joined the band, it was kind of every session we had was mainly just me and Danny, or maybe Tommy was down. I think the odd time Colin was down for the simulation sessions, the online sessions that we did, but we never really jammed together or anything. So
Yeah.
That's something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that turning point in September, hopefully when we move in, that will be when things will fall into place, like, you know, properly, because we'll actually get the chance to like be together compared to the last, you know, year and a half, 2 years of COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get to know me, come live with me is going to be so true for you guys. But it's super exciting. You're not the only band I know that is talking about moving in together for a while to make things easier, more seamless. And it makes sense from a creative point of view and, you know, like artistic standpoint, that if you're going to be together, you know. So I'm looking forward to September. I'll try get secret hidden cameras installed in your house so I can have a sneak peek.
You can come visit anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Go up with the under Starlings.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be a nightmare program.
Like making drumstick to Danny and Alex, they're like hiding behind the fucking.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So guys, it's been a wonderful chat. It's been great getting to know you in the present time, and I'm so looking forward to everything that's about to come out for you guys. Is there anything you would like to add to the interview before I stop recording and we go back to our casual chats?
I suppose just to make sure you stream Icarus as much as possible. You know, streams huge these days. Follow us on everything, I guess. You know, just keep up to date with us. You know, our music changes a lot, so maybe something we might release will take your fancy. So keep up to date with us and stuff.
And join our mailing list also, because you'll get those lovely exclusives through the mailing list.
Yeah.
I need to get a mailing list together for all my exclusives. Thanks so much for the push, Colin.
Well, Colin, if you want anything to do with that type of side, Colin will help you out there.
Give me a hand.
I'll be administrator.
I'm definitely hitting you up for some help after this interview. Everybody, this has been wonderful. This is Under Starling interview, and you should follow them everywhere, and you definitely need to stream Icarus. The lyric video is up. The actual music video is about to be released and is very exciting. It looks glorious, and I can't wait to see what else they have in store for us for this wonderful release.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.